Malky, last weekend there you had a 14-0 win. I'm not sure that really would have told you too much, although 10 of the 10 different girls scored. In terms of the quality league, when you're bringing in newer teams, there's obviously going to be these hiccups. Did you have any words for the coach, or did you just let them sink in and let them work with their own players?
I think after the game, that it probably like last season when we first started. Last season, early on in the season, we managed to accumulate higher scores. But I think as the season goes on, I'm quite sure that Glasgow women will get stronger and more used to the league. And again, it's early on, pre-season, and I think they'll definitely get better. They've got good coaches that are working with them. And what was evident to myself was that they still had a team spirit. Although we managed to score the 14 goals, they stuck together as a unit. And after the game, every bit of respect to them, that they shook their hand and they kind of faced up to it. So credit's got to go to Glasgow women in that respect,
In terms of this weekend, you've obviously got Aberdeen, who are a tougher prospect. I've mentioned it before, but after the game you had at Ibrox against them, their coach was saying, the defeat wasn't particularly heavy, and that because of the full-time teams that they were up against, they had adjusted their coaching. They'd put in more sessions, more intense, more kind of game focused. Are you expecting much the same from Aberdeen and some of the other teams this season?
Yeah, I think this season in particular is going to be a lot harder for us, in terms of having to try and retain the championship, But I think that the guys that are in charge of all the other teams are they're good coaches. I think, just as you're saying there, they've upped the level of detail that they're giving their players. They've also upped the number of training sessions that they have also, which can only help and strengthen their team. But I would imagine that we'll face a stiff opposition come Sunday.
So just touching on what Mark was saying, obviously Aberdeen are quite a more difficult proposition going forward. The last couple of times we played them, especially at Pittodrie, they were quite difficult to break down. How do you see the game going, and do you feel like some of the newer players like Yenny and Hannah and Dina will be that kind of barrier, be able to break those barriers?
Yeah, I think we've got a right good mix in the team just now, where we have, as you're saying there, we've got experienced players. But we've also got that mix of youthfulness in there as well. I think this year we're probably a bit fitter than we were last season. Certainly we're pre-season that we got the physical element of the pre-season we managed to get through. The players that obviously, like say Yanni's and Davidson and that came in, it took a bit of time in order to get the correct paperwork done for them to allow them to come in and play with the team. But those guys are seasoned professionals, and Yanni's and Davidson's and Lisa Martinez's as well. They understand the dynamic of the full-time environment, and I think come the weekend it will be a hard test for us. But I think we've got enough experience in the players that we have to give a good account of ourselves.
And also we talk about Kirsten McLean. She's been absolutely excellent. Do you feel she'll play a larger role in the coming season going forward, because she was exceptional on Sunday against Glasgow Women?
I think Kirsten McLean, like any of all the other players that are in the squad, there's a level of competition there. Kirsty is a young player. She's come from the youth, but there's no, we don't compare the youth players with the senior players. It's about who's training well, who's got the appetite, and that's the way that the team will be selected.
Hi, good afternoon, Malky.
Nice
just to follow up a wee bit on what Rhiannon was saying in terms of Hannah Davidson, I was really impressed by her last week, and although she'll face tougher tasks, she seems to be very physical and very willing to put herself into these kind of tussles, which we're going to need in this environment, in this league. How much are you looking forward to seeing her progressing alongside Catherine? Are you hoping that they're going to be the solid kind of barrier that they've already shown, albeit not tougher tests as yet?
Yeah, they'll definitely be there'll definitely be a process in place when we're selecting teams. We've got roughly about 48 games minimum to play this season. We've got a level of competition in the squad, so we have just now at centre back position 3 different types of options that we can use. Similarly in the full back areas, midfield to front, we have a plethora of players there that we can choose from. So again, I think that this season will be driven by competition, driven by ambition, and driven by that will to win.
And similarly, just to follow up a bit about the youngsters, Kirsty, Emma and Jodie, massive news for the club that they've all committed their futures to Rangers. Great to see the youth also. When we're bringing in players, you're also focusing on that. How excited are you to see their growth, in particular, the girls that we mentioned, but we've also spoken before, there's been others that have committed to the club. How important is youth development for you, and how excited are you seeing their growth in the team?
I think at Rangers, there's whether it's the men's game or the women's game, it's the environment that's created here, and there'll always be opportunities for the youth players to shine. Certainly, likes of this week in training, we've had another 4 or 5 younger kids that have came in from the youth to experience the training. And what's really good about it is that the experienced players that we have in our squad just now, I think they take great pride in welcoming the younger guys, the 15, 16-year-old kids that are coming in, and there's a respect there, and for the likes of the session itself, there's a lot of patience in the session where when it does break down, that there's people there that talk them through it and help them in order to keep the training session and the levels up at the high standards that we must maintain.
Jenny Danielson was really impressive at the weekend, I felt. Are you happy with how she has settled in thus far and her contribution to the squad so far? Yeah,
especially off the pitch with Jenny. She's, I think anybody can see that she has got undoubted talent, fantastic skill level she's got, but it's off the pitch where a lot of the fans or a lot of the other opposition teams will not get to see that she's a real team person. She's very polite, she's very respectful, she's very dignified in what she does, and she's just a great addition to Rangers Football Club.
Post Aberdeen at the weekend, of course, the ladies have a huge European tie to look forward to. I wonder how the atmosphere has been in and around the training centre, considering the exploits of Gio's team on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think what a fantastic performance, first and foremost, from the men, and we are, as I've said in many other interviews, we're a one club, and we're all rooting for each other, After every game there's always a congratulations both ways, whether it's the youth team that's playing, whether it's the B team that's playing, and like the great result that the first team men's had on Tuesday evening there. It's great to see in the corridor the players mixing and congratulating each other and rooting for each other, and it really adds to the strength about the whole club.